back with another video. Um, Thanks for all the comments and support on the last video I did. I was not expecting it, so that was refreshing. It also gave me the next thing to talk about, which was cool. Because I feel like, I don't know, my last video I was kind of like lashing out. Just it all worked out anyway. And it always does. And a lot of the times, not even, I don't know, like subconsciously, I live kind of like on the edge a lot where I'm like paycheck to paycheck and stuff. And I was just sharing my experience. And the title, Crying Out for Help, was more like a spiritual thing between just like me and God or the universe, which I like to call it. I know I got some comments saying that that that's not the same thing or whatever, and I get that, and I have a profound respect for anybody and their beliefs, even if they oppose mine, because um, like I haven't always believed or thought the way that I think now. So this is evolution. And I have done so much extensive like research and stuff, and I just like to use the universe, but I think that what I'm referring to as God is in everything and everybody, even the bad. And sometimes I call it the universe or spirit or ancestors, you know, kind of like how an electrician might call it electricity. A scientist might call it energy. A Christian may call it God or Jesus. You know what I mean? But I think for me, when somebody says that, even when they say like what their thing, their God, I know that we're talking about our God. You know what I mean? It's like all the same to me. I feel like when you label things, you limit yourself. So when you label yourself, you limit yourself. So that's how come I say that. And like I think I commented back and said that like even in my journal when I do journal entries, I always like write like the date, and then I have this new thing where I'll write like a quote, so it'll kind of like be the title um, of the journal entry. But the very first thing I used to write was "Thank you, universe, elements, ancestors, God, and nature." I used to say all of those things literally every time before I write my journal entry. I always start with that. But now I just to shorten it, and I've just kind of like evolved because I've been saying that one for like the last probably 10 years. Um, and now I say, um, "Thank you, omnipresent one." So I just like to have my own names, my own things, because um, it just I know for sure then it's between me and it, or I'll say him because most people say him. But yeah, so that was that that I kind of wanted to talk about. And then, like I said, everything did end up working itself out. I was just kind of, I guess, subconsciously attracting circumstances for me to remind myself that I already have everything that I need. I was born with it. It's all within, and that I just have to eliminate some, if possible, if not all, of the distractions, so that I could hear the God, the goddess within me. And then another comment that I got was a lot about prayer. And again, I feel like I've done extensive research, and I feel like my version of prayer is being in a state of gratitude. So I don't necessarily like ask God for things, unless like I'm just upset at that moment. I'm like, God, please help me, maybe. at that time I'll just blatantly ask. But usually I'm in a state of gratitude. So when I come to pray, when I need something that I don't have, or that I don't have my awareness, I'm not aware that I have yet. Um, I like to thank God for it, even though I don't have it yet. That's what I consider prayer. So, like what the thing that happened with my rent, I was literally upset because I'm like, why am I trying everything and nothing's working? I know that that usually is when I'm trying everything and it doesn't work, then that means that that's because God, the universe, that you know, is leading me in a certain direction and do a certain, like I got to do something else that I'm just, and that's fine. That's cool. Like that's how I usually see it. So that's what I was thinking with that. I'm like, well, my last shot. Let me try YouTube. That's the one thing that I haven't done is like, upload it. I mean, I have, but like not consistently or not with the kind of mindset that I have now. So yeah, I like to do um, my prayer as like a state of gratitude. So I was like, when I was upset, I come right now I'm in my prayer space. So I'm actually under my bed. So and underneath my bed, instead of it being like a desk like most people or something, I just made it a gratitude space, prayer space, pranayama space. So I just come here and I just do some like deep breathing. Um, I have like my Bible even open right here. And like I have like cards, all kinds of different cards and stuff. Because to me, it's all God. That's another thing. Um, Let me finish that though. So I'll go back to the cards. But yeah, so I come to my gratitude space, which is where I'm at now under my bed in my bedroom. And I just take some deep breaths and I try to keep my spine straight. And the reason why it's important to keep your spine straight is because if your spine is curved, then you're probably in the past or in the future. But when it's straight, you're in the present. You're aware. So I make sure I'm doing that. And then I just take some deep breaths. That's it. I do about three of those, sometimes more. Um, and lately, I can sit for like 30 minutes, which is good. Because if you could sit for like 30 minutes, imagine like a bucket of soot. And then you know how like you let the bucket of dirty water sit and then it starts to separate. Or even like a shaken up um, bottle of like Italian dressing, like you, and then it settles. You know what I mean? And that's what your body is made of water, right? So what you're doing when you just come and sit in silence is you're allowing the soot, the things, to just kind of like settle. And then that takes about 20-25 minutes. Once and you just don't even judge yourself. Like you're just gonna be thinking thoughts, and you just let yourself think thoughts, and that's it. No, just thinking them, and it takes some time, and then you just get quiet, and then you hear a tiny voice, and it tells you to do something. You're probably not gonna want to do it, which is my case, which was what I heard, which was, you know, go to YouTube. Um, but yeah, so most of the time that's when I get an answer that I need, or I can ask a question, or just nothing. You know what I mean? Like it's just good to do that. So that's my version of prayer. And at this point, I'm doing it just about every day, every other day. Um, so I think that I pray, and so the other comment that I got was about tarot cards and how like, and so I just wanted to say about that, like, to me, God is in everything. God is pervasive. Um, the omnipresent one. That's why I write that. It's in everything. And so I can find the beauty, the lesson in any circumstance. Like I really can. Um, so even like tarot cards and yoga, sometimes they have like a negative connotation attached to it just because of certain powers that be. They may not want you to know that you could use those things to inspire the messages that or the downloads that are trying to come to you that you might not be able to receive in any other way. Like, you know what I mean? You can't, it's hard to, for me personally, like when I try to think about my dreams, they never usually make sense to me. So, that I know that even if, God was trying to come in, I probably wouldn't be able to pick up on it as much as I can, like just looking at like a card. I don't consider that devil, I don't even, this might get me in trouble, but honestly, I don't know if I should say this, but I don't really believe in the devil. Um, I think it's like just the lower self and the higher self, and they dwell within. And there's a quote where a little boy was talking to his grandfather, and he said, his grandfather, he was saying, "Oh, there's granddad, I have two wolves within me that live within me. One's a bad wolf and one's a good wolf." And he said, "Which one is going to grow?" And his granddaddy said, "The one you feed." Right? So I think that that's what the devil is. Like, it's yourself. This whole thing, this life that you're experiencing, is you literally learning to overcome your old self or your lower self. Um, but I mean, yeah, that's just my beliefs. So, not, so I can see the good in everything, even the bad. I can see the good in it. I can learn the lesson. I think, like, for me personally, you either win or you learn. It's not even a loss. Nothing's really truly a loss, especially if you learned from it. So, anyway, so like today didn't want to, like, I didn't really want to post a video, but I was like, it'll be easier to post instead of like trying to go through all the comments that I saw. So I was like, I can just make a video and talk about it and share a little bit of my wisdom that I've learned, because I think that that's what God, the universe, whatever you want to call it, I think that's what I'm being led to do. And I'm a little bit nervous about it. And, there's never really a good time to start anything. It's kind of like one of those things where you just got to kind of do it. So, yeah, that's what I'm doing. Like I said, my situation got taken care of. I was kind of lashing out, and I knew it was because I'm attracting situations for me to the pressure. I work well under pressure, so it's like I think that pressure makes me have to come here and try the new thing that I don't want to try, which is this. But I need to, because there are people like me that needed a video like this. So here I am, just doing my part, playing my part. I love you. And you know what they be saying, like, share, subscribe, you know. So could you do that? Because yeah, that's what I'm gonna need, so I can just try to take this more serious. And I promise you, you won't regret. Like, cause I got heat. I ain't gonna lie. I got a lot of heat to share. Like, so anyway, enjoy your day. Bye.